All right, team, welcome back to another episode on the Weight Loss for Women 40 Plus podcast with Josh. Let's jump in. So, we're talking about metrics like data tracking. So, there's a couple of different ways that you can track your data when it comes to losing weight. So, as coaches, the most important thing that we get from our clients isn't what they say they did, it's what they tracked that they did. Because everybody's got everyone's busy, and sometimes what you did last week is it's too far long ago to actually remember. So when you're having a coaching catch up, or checking in, your coach is going to ask, like, how'd you go last week? And if you can't really remember everything that went on, you're just going to go, yeah, it went pretty good, but you might miss the cheeky meal that had to be takeaway because the kid's really busy and you're coming home from soccer practice and it was 7:30, so you went through the drive-through, or you felt like you got the workouts in, but that wasn't last week, that was the week before. So sometimes it just all blends in together. So when you're giving a recap, sometimes you have skewed data. Now, as coaches, we cannot make good decisions unless our clients give us the true data. This is why we get people to track. Now, I'm not going to dive into all the fucking different metrics we go through with our clients, but the metric I'm going to go through today is around walking. So there's two metrics that you can track when you're going for a walk. There is the time that you went, and there's the amount of steps that you did. Now, what do you think is more important? The length of the walk, the time, or the amount of steps that you did? A lot of people are going to go, it's the time. Oh, my coach said I need to go for a half an hour walk each day. Now, let's actually map this out. Let's say you went for a half an hour walk and you're taking the dog. Now, I've had many dogs in my lifetime, and walking dogs is a bit of a pain in the ass. Why is that? Because dogs like to stop very frequently. So walking dogs is like this start-stop mentality. You go for a bit, stop, sniff, go for a bit, dog takes a piss, go for a bit, gets distracted, wants to sniff some more. And what can happen is a 20-30 minute walk can equal a very small amount of steps because you don't actually get a whole lot of activity done within that time. And this is why we 99 times out of 100 do not get our clients to track a length of walk. We get them to track their steps. So the best coaches are going to put a step count in place for their clients, because what's going to happen is if you do 5,000 steps, you're going to burn a certain amount of calories. Even if that's including steps that you do around the house, you do them at work, it's just more of the incidental stuff. What I don't like to see is clients that are just on timed walks only. Because again, if you have little kids, grandchildren, if you have an animal with you, you're going to greatly impact the amount of steps that you're going to get done compared to if you didn't. Now, if you don't have any hindrances, it's not too bad, but how can you track that? Like, do you set a timer? When your coach sees that, they see the time that you went, but did you walk really slow? Did you walk really fast? Did you do 3,000 steps in half an hour, or did you do 800 steps in half an hour? There's too many variables that come to play. And look, if you're having a bit of a lazy day or a lazy week, you're probably not going to walk really fast, or it could be really cold, or it could be raining. There could be so many variables that are going to impact the intensity of that walk. So this is why we always set a step count for the day. If our clients are getting a certain amount of steps in, we know that they're burning X amount of calories per day. Now, if you want to see fat loss, you have to be in a calorie deficit. You can't just eat good, healthy food. I've seen plenty of vegans that eat very, very healthy and they're overweight because they don't understand that fat loss doesn't occur by cutting out animal products. Fat loss occurs by being in a calorie deficit. This is why you can have vegans in a calorie deficit lose weight, and you can have non-vegans in a calorie deficit lose weight. It's not about how healthy the food is. You could literally eat processed packaged foods all week, every week for a whole year and still lose boatloads of body fat. It is not about the quality of the food. Now, remember, I'm talking fat loss. I'm not talking reversing health problems. Fat, now mind you, if you get less fat, you're going to be healthier. So, take that in your stride. It's about the calorie deficit. So, I've seen plenty of ladies that say, I went for an hour's walk every single day and they ate pretty good food. So technically they should have been in a calorie deficit because of they ate the right amount of calories and the right amount of protein for every day, but then they didn't lose any weight at the end of the week. And they're like, I did some workouts, I did an hour walk a day, I ate healthy and I didn't lose weight. Me, big fucking complainant. And then when we actually break it down, their walking was the thing that let them down. They were fucking dawdling, doing absolutely just taking the piss, going for a walk, with the dog. And it's like the dog stopping. And it was just like, I'm like, you're actually not burning the amount of calories that you think you're burning. Now that's going to be a problem because what happens is, because yes, you went for an hour's walk, but because you fucked around, you didn't burn many calories. So now you've wasted nearly an hour's of your day, didn't burn enough calories, ate healthily, got to the end of the week, didn't lose the weight. So I've had that happen way in the past. So I put this lady on I put her on a step count. I'm like, okay, cool. We need to hit this amount of steps per day. She did that 7 days in a row. She lost like 800 grams. I was like, boom. All right, we found the problem. You just weren't burning enough calories on a daily basis to get the type of results that you wanted to see. Sometimes it is that simple. Switching from a timed walk to a step count. Now, why do you think clients actually enjoy doing a step count more than they enjoy doing a timed walk? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, if I tell a client they need to walk for an hour a day, what do you think they're going to tell me? Now, let's take the average client. She's over the age of 40, got some kids, she's working full time, either single or in a relationship. Do you think she has an hour free every single day to go and do the walk her coach wants her to do? Probably not in one block. Probably not even in the whole fucking day. Now, mind you, everybody can make it work, but like if I said you've got to add an hour, you've got to find an extra hour per day, you're probably going to be like, fuck, I'm pretty damn busy. Like just finding an extra hour, an extra 7 hours a week is not the easiest task with my full-time work and then full-time job when I get home, look after the family. And I get that. I grew up in a busy household, both parents working full-time, soccer practice for the kids. We did sport out of town. We lived out of town. Our school was out of town. So there's a lot of traveling in place. For my mum to then find an extra 7 hours a week, she would have to do some juggling. And that's the same thing with most. This is why when you get inexperienced coaches, they're like, yeah, just do like a half an hour walk a day or an hour walk a day. They're like, a lot of mums just can't find that time, a lot of women. So this is why, A, we get resistance when it's not a step count and it's an amount of time. And B, the thing we want to look for is we want to kind of make the process a bit more fun. So if I give someone a step count, if you've got to get 7,500 steps done per day and you've done 7,000, you're going to be like, fuck, all right, I've got to do another 500 steps. And you're going to go and get creative. You might go for a walk, you walk around the house, you get that done. Because when you tick that off, you're probably going to feel good. You're like, I fucking did it. I feel good. And that's called oxytocin. Oxytocin is what we call the checklist hormone. You tick something off and you feel good. So when you can kind of gamify the process, it becomes more fun. You got like these little milestones that you want to hit. Whereas there's more resistance to just fitting in a 60-minute walk than there is to hitting a step target per day. Because you can get 5 minutes here, 20 minutes there. You can get another little bit done at work. You can go for a walk when you get home. And you can kind of chip away at the step target. As long as it's done by the end of the night, before you go to bed, tick, you've done the right thing. It doesn't have to be done all in one go. I'd rather someone break up their walks into small increments throughout the day than only go for the really long walk, but then miss it, 2 times out of 7 because they couldn't fit it in. So I'd rather someone knock the step target down incrementally and do it that way. Much more success we find with our coaching clients. Because again, the coaches understand the mindset behind it, the psychology behind motivation. If we set targets and achievable targets and we tick them off, we feel really good. We get that process moving and momentum going in the right direction. So that's how we do it. We found that to be the best way to do it. We've worked with well over 2,000 women in the last 5 years, and we've crafted a process that our ladies enjoy. So this is why when you listen to any of our testimonials and the interviews I do with our ladies, they're like, it was simple, it was easy, I enjoyed it, I lost the weight, I had fun along the way. Because the coaches made it, it's like a bit of a game, and everybody loves to play games, or at least feel like they're moving and producing a good result, going in the right direction as human beings. All right, team, so that's it. So if you're doing a timed walk, maybe it's time to switch over to a step count because you've got something a little bit more tangible. Easy done. All right, ladies, lots of love, go kick some goals, and I'm going to see ya in the next episode.